Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be continuing with the doors for Star Saga. Right, as you can see we have some done already. These are ones I have finished the way I want them. We're going to do two different colours of doors, and I follow the same procedure for both. It's just that I'm just doing one set on camera and the other set off camera. It's as simple as that. I'm not trying to make them look ultra glossily clean and smooth. I'm looking at making them look as though they've been used and whatnot. So some of the things, you'll see little marks on them and stuff like that. So we're doing, first of all, an orange colour, and the second colour we're doing is blue. So I've got the big ones done, the double doors. I'm going to show you on the smaller doors, the single doors, exactly what I've done on the big doors. Just because it works out a lot easier doing them on single doors than it does on the big ones. But first off, I'm going to change two of them to go on to these pots rather than being on the wash bottles, because I don't particularly like the one there, especially as they're full of wash and any little leaks or whatever could make a mess. So we have these two doors that are going to be running, or that we're going to be running with. So the primary one I want to show you is this one, and I'm hoping you can see it okay. What I'm going to do is adjust the camera slightly. That's better, so you can see what I'm doing a little better. There it looks a lot better for me. Now, yeah, so we have these three doors. What you've seen so far is me mixing silver with white to do those. I'm painting all of them in this rough iron. We're going one step further now. So first off, we're going to be using Altdorf Gerd Blue, which is this one, and this is going to be a base coat for the parts where I want this colour, where I want the blue. So I'm going to give it a shake. Now I've got my wet palette up, but unfortunately I haven't got the room at the moment beside me to put or extra lights to put the what you call it down. So a light onto it, unfortunately. So it's just going to be a case of putting it on the, telling you what paints I'm using, but mixing them off camera. And then we're just going to add this onto the areas that we want to be this blue colour. Now I really should have waited to do this one. I actually done the one that I want to do, but never mind. Started this one, so we'll get it done. As I said, all I'm doing quite literally is just going over the brown of the dark iron. So this is the same technique that I used on the big up doors. It's not very difficult to do. Just a case of decide where you want the paint going, decide what colour you want the paint to be, and put the colour where you want it. I'm just actually making sure now that okay, so I've got some crannies. Okay, so that's those 3 doors done. That looks as though it's dry now. Yep, so we'll go back to this one and we'll give this one a second coat, and look how smooth it's going on this time. Oops. Well, you would look at how smooth it's going on this time. I'm hoping I got everything on beforehand. If I didn't, I do apologise. I forgot I'd angled the camera a bit further up. I'll move it down a little so hopefully you can see it. If I didn't get all of the previous steps on camera, I do apologise. I'll find out when I actually come to edit it as to whether I did or not. But if I didn't, I will cut it out. If you've seen it, I've got them in. If you haven't seen it, and you just heard me talk about what it is, then obviously I didn't get it on camera. In fact, if you didn't see it at all, I didn't get it on camera, and I hope I did get it. I'm not used to this painting on camera as I used to be. Whoops, I've missed this side of the door. How silly of me. I thought I painted both sides. But if you didn't see it earlier, this is what I did earlier. It's just a case of filling in all the areas. So at least if I didn't get it beforehand, at least now you've got to see what I did and how it looks. Because it's not going to go on very well covered at the moment because there's such a dark background. And although, well, this is a layer paint, so that's why it's going on quite thin. I thought it was a base paint, but it's not, it's a layer. There we are. That is that part, and now we'll turn it over and we'll put the second coat of this on. And this second coat is to give the next coat something solid to sit on. Otherwise you're going to really see patchy paint underneath. So by doing this coat and then putting one over it, it's not going to look as bad, because the next coat is going to be a lighter colour paint. So you need to put it on a solid background. Yeah. So as I say, what I have to do is get the paint on where we need the paint going, and it's the next bit that's going to be a bit of a problem because I'm going to be mixing. You're not going to see how I'm mixing it, but it's just how you want it. That's how you mix it. If you want it dark, put more paint into it. Sorry, if you want it darker, you put more of the darker paint into it. If you want it pale, you put more of the lighter colour paint into it. Simple as. But with this, we're going to be doing exactly the same as we did with the white, and that is mix it with the silver, and that gives it, in my opinion, a nice mentioned this in the first video, it gives a nice ceramic look. But well, it does to me anyway. I may be wrong, but that's the best way of describing it. It's just not like a flat colour. There is something to the colour as you look at it, a sheen that you wouldn't get with just the normal paints. There we are. So that's that. All the paints, all the blue is on where we want it. And next, what we do, what we can do now if we wanted to is either go back and start touching up with the dark iron, or rough iron, sorry. We could do that, or we can just go straight into the next colour, which is going to be Calidor Sky. Now this is the base colour, but we're using it as a layer colour. So I'll put some of that onto our palette. We're using the wet palette today, as I think I mentioned earlier, because I'm using a lot of paint and I don't want it drying up too quickly for me. So we put that in, and as I said, mix it to the way you want it. Don't just follow my instructions. Well, not that you can see my instructions, but into that we're going to be putting some of the Stormhost Silver. And as I said, you saw me do this previously with the whites colour. And I'm just going to add some silver into the blue, and I'm putting quite a lot of silver into the blue. And usually when you put in blue into something, it greys the colour down. This particular one, it's the silver that greys it down. So we're going to carry on now and wipe it over this blue that we've already put on. As you can see, it's looking quite shimmery. Looks like there's I think a ceramic look. I think ceramic is the right word to describe it. I may be wrong. I don't know, I just quite like the effect that mixing colours with the silver gives. I'll do this side as well. And there we are. And that's that. We will be changing what we call it now. Changing brushes in a moment. We may need to give this a second coat because it's going on quite thin. But we will see. So we'll change brushes and we'll go to that medium-sized brush we was using earlier. I'll go with that. Put the paint on, twist the brush in the paint to get a nice point on it. As nice a point as you can get. And then we come in and we do this all over where we put the blue paint before. Yeah. As I said, don't worry if you get some of this on the rough iron. You can always go back and touch up later on. There we are. And I know I said in the other one that in the previous video, this is not a post-apocalyptic game. It's set on a space, like a space station or a science station, something like that. But we still want the doors to look as though, we want them to try and make them look as though they're real doors, and they've had people touching them and they've been opened and closed, and that's why I'm not making them look pristine. Trying to get the paint job as, as clean as I can get it in regards to edges and corners and things like that. But I want to make it look as though, they have been in use. So I'll try my best not to get the brushes going in all the same way. It just gives that underlying bit of, if you wanted to, part way through, you can just do that. To make it look as though the door has been sliding open and closed. Or you could do that with a slightly darker colour, or you can go over with a wash afterwards. I'm not going that far, I'm just not painting it as neatly as I would if it was a... Right. If I wanted something to look really pristine, you'd make the paint job really pristine and smooth. Whereas any slight errors in shade, or not errors, any differences in shade would actually make this look as though they've just been used, touched. They've a bit of dirt on them, that kind of thing. Also, what I'm trying not to do is get blue paint on the areas that we don't want blue paint, and white paint on the areas we don't want white paint, and that. So I will be going over areas where I've caught blue paint on and white paint on the rough iron. But I think that is it for that colour, although, as I say, I may, once it's dried fully, I may go back to it and see what we can do. But now I think it's the turn of the rough iron once again, and we're going to do some tarting up before we go any further. So we'll pop some of that on the palette. We don't need a great deal. So we're only tarting up areas where we've caught the wrong bits. Let's see if there's anywhere on there. Can't see any. No, I think I've done this all. There's a bit there. A little bit there. Right. Next, this one. And I know there's some on this because we're right next to the rough iron part of this. And if I do get the brush in the right place, that will be great. Get the brush everywhere I want it, everywhere but where I want it. So we just keep going until we've got it as neat as we can get it. And then when we've got it as neat as we can get it, we can go back with the original colour and cover over the bits we've gone over with this. That's how it works. We just keep going backwards and forwards. Oops. Right, so I'm going to have to rip myself off another piece of kitchen towel because the one I was using I've dropped on the floor. And I can't be bothered bending down to pick it up because it means having to do two other things to get it because of where it's falling. Right, so that's that bit done. What else do we need? Right, I need to mix with the white and silver again. So again, it's white scar, and that will go on our palette. And because this is an airbrush paint, it's going in incredibly watery anyway. And then we want some of the silver. I think it might have been a better idea to put the silver in first and then put the white. But I'm going to go in and get a little bit more white just to add in to make it a much paler colour. And now we're going to go in and propping my hand against the table here for this part because it is quite a delicate job. And we're going in and again going around the edges, making sure that anywhere where we've got anything other than this colour on the white area or the silvery white area, it's covered. That should do nicely. Right, next stage is dry brushing. And for that we're going to use, shall we use that one? No. There's that. So I'm going to bring on an old DVD and iron breaker. There's not much of this in, and it is quite thick. I really do need to get a new one of these because it's not as it should be, but never mind. Now around the outside edge we're going to do this fairly solid. And as you can see, we're going to paint it as though it is painted rather than dry brushed. A proper solid coat of this. Now inside we're going to do quite a heavy dry brush so it almost looks solid. on the base here. We're going to do it again, like a solid paint job. But as you can see, I'm using the dry brush for this because, yeah, I can. And again, we'll go up and over this with the dry brush. That is that part. And next, just to finish off, because as we almost have now, not really much else to this. We're going into, and I'm taking this straight out of the pot, we're going back into the Stormhost Silver. And oh, I missed a side with the iron breaker, bear with me. Let's go back to that and get that done. I thought I got everywhere. Obviously not. And we'll just tuck in there, that's better. We'll wash that brush out once again. And we'll go into the Stormhost Silver. And for this, we're going to go on the inside of designs. In fact, it might be easier doing it this way, going along it rather than across. There we are. And try not to get any of this in that groove in the middle. And once again. That's that bit. And now the bottom piece. So I've got something in the groove in the middle. Just wipe it off. There we go. You can always mix a little water with some of the rough iron and drop it in there. I'm going to just go straight over these now. Yeah, done. So that's the doors sorted out. I need to just go in there. I'm not doing a brilliant paint job on the inside of the hole. I just want to make it look as though there's metal going all the way through, but we'll do. Now, I said there is one more thing I want to do, and that's on the big doors. I can't really do it on these, but on the big doors, along the outside edges, I want to do a little bit of edge highlighting. Now, this is something I don't normally do because I don't normally like the effect, but on something like this I think it needs doing. I'm going to add some, oops, alright, I'm going to add some Lothern blue. First of all I need to wash my brush out. I'm going to add some Lothern blue to my little palette here. Onto the wet palette, so I can put the CD to one side because I'll not be using that again. And for this, I'm just going to go down the corner or the edge of the doors. And it picks out that edge detail quite nicely. Oops. As I say, it's not, I hope you can see that, it's not a technique I tend to use. As I say, I don't particularly like it, but I think for this it makes everything stand out, especially when it's whatchamacallit, especially when it's areas like this that doesn't have anything surrounding it. Oops. Needs to be a bit heavier, but it doesn't have to be wonderful. It's just a case of picking out the edges, and once that's done we can call the whole door finished. But I do have to go back in with the with this blue in here because I've caught some when I was doing the what you call it, doing the doors, and I hadn't noticed until I just picked this up now. So there we are. It just gives that nice little effect to the edge. So there we are. I'll do that on the other side off camera because you've seen it on there. That's all I wanted to show you. So that is it for this video and these doors. Next time I think we might start on one of the characters. There again I have the computer consoles that I would like to have a go at because I'm thinking of doing something a little different with those that I've not done before. So join me next time. And we'll get cracking. We're doing a little more on Star Saga from Mantic Games. So I hope you've enjoyed these videos. Where's the other door? There. I hope you've enjoyed these videos. Until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.